Tiriano, building bonds, building future.
Good morning, dear students. This is Gaurav Singh. Today I am going to start the online classes series for Political Science class 12th. As we know, because of coronavirus, we are going to start our classes online. Okay, so we are unable to conduct classes which is physically okay, which we had experienced in class 11th. Okay, so in the orientation class, I want to suggest you few basic points. Okay, with the help of that points, you can continue your study. So here, as we know, we have already studied about the political science in the last year. There were two books, that was Indian Constitution at Work and Political Theory. In that, we were able to understand what exactly political science is, whether it is science, arts, commerce. So at that time, we were able to segregate and we were able to clarify those points. I hope all of you are very much aware about the political science. Okay, so now why political science is a very unique and having a very great scope in future after studying. Okay, so here we are going to start the details about two books which we will study here. As we know that in the 12th we are having also a board examinations. For the board examination we have to prepare well, and we had already wasted our time because of the coronavirus, but now we have to be serious. Okay, with the help of that we will able to understand what exactly we have to study this year. Okay, so we know it must be uh, on time. You all have to be regular. You must have to watch all the videos whatever is uploaded by the school administration. Okay, so keep calm and study political science. As we know, the political science is a very applicable subject right now. The application part is very much broad. Okay, so here we will study about the scope of political science. As we have already understood about the political science, as we know, it's organized body of knowledge, the facts of which have been scientifically, okay, and systematically observed, collected, and classified. And from these facts are formulated and proved a series of proposition or principles which forms the basis of the science. Okay, it means study of state and government. Since political science is the science of the state and the government, means after studying we will able to make ourselves as a part of political system of the country, and we can involve in the government. Okay, to provide some informative results and welfare schemes to the society. Okay, so it conducts the scientific study of both the state and the government, and also it deals with the nature and formation of the state and tries to understand various forms and function of the government. Okay, so we will able to understand also study of association and institution. In this we will able to understand what exactly associations are and institutions are, what are the function. And the scope of the political science also include the study of associations and institutions. In this connection, Dr. Garner has very aptly observed in organized way the fundamental problems of political science include First, an investigation of the origin and nature of the state. Second, an inquiry into nature, history, and forms of political institutions. And third, deduction their form so far as possible of laws of political growth and development. There are many scopes. After studying, you will able to understand. One also example, one also scope I'm dealing here. Study of past, present, and future development of state means development of the state is also based on political science. Scope of political science is not restricted to the study of past and present alone, but it directs the future course of development of the state. Means development of the states are also dependent upon the political science. If someone is having the expertise, someone is having the basic and the core idea about the political science, they can really able to understand the state and the government. It also gives timely suggestions with a view to improving political institutions and modifying political activities so as to meet the new dimensions of the changing world. Okay, so these are some other scopes like study concept of power, behavioral revolution in politics, central topic. The latest study in political science has become study of the power. Okay, so individually if we'll study and collectively if we'll study and try to understand the theme and the core of the political science, we will able to understand that it is becoming the study of power. If someone, either they are king, ruler, okay, and they are ruling somewhere, so they can understand the basic principle of their power, their limitations, everything they got from there. Probably the best known identified of the power is that of Max Weber. As we know, he is the father of public administration. He also provide the different theories on administrative behavior, administration, political system. Okay, so he characterized power as the chance of a man or a number of men to realize on will in a communal action, even against the resistance of others who are participating in the action. Okay, participating in the action. Okay, so it is a communi- communal action. Okay, against the resistance of others who are participating in the action. So if you want to perform, if you want to show yourself, yes, you are having the potential, okay, then you can easily understand that it is the subject where you can realize the power of chance. Okay, suppose I'm talking about the present Prime Minister Narendra Modi Das Modi. Okay, he is Prime Minister. He is having the high level of powers. Okay, and he's also able to exercise, but some limitations are also there. And who is there, and what are the circumstances? Okay, from where he used to take some circumstances and some limitations. That is the political science, political theory, our Indian constitution, which puts some limits for them. Okay, so you can exercise your power, but there must be some limitation. Okay, and then only you can exercise your power. Okay, also modern political scientists under the behavioral and the system approach have widened the scope of political science to cover many more aspects like political socialization, political culture, political development, and informal structures like pressure groups, etc. Means in the modern time, the political scientist is very much conscious towards the behavior and the systematic approach, okay, which provides political science to cover many more aspects, okay, and like political socialization, political culture. So all are influenced by the behavior and system of approach. Okay, so these are also one kind of scope, you can say it as, and this provides a very specific feature to the subject, that is our subject called political science. Okay, now most of the students are having the queries and the question, sir, we are from the humanities background, so what are the scopes for us? Don't be bothered about the scope, because scope always depend on the particular or individual. Okay, so you must have to be particular while you are studying. Understood? Now we will study about the methods of political science. The methods of investigation employed in political science are, okay, so how you will understand the methods of investigation through which political science can employed here. First, that is observational method. With the help of observation, you can understand the political science. Experimental method, by some application, by some experimental, work, you can understand. Historical method, you must have to know some background before entering into that. Comparative method, there must be some comparison, either they are political parties, political symbols. Okay, sorry. Now, statistical methods, okay, some numbers, some amounts, okay, some areas, some locations, all comes under the statistical method through which we can understand the political science. Now, philosophical method, different philosophers have given the different definition of the political science, and you can understand about the philosophical method by reading their philosophy. Okay, biological method, okay, suppose someone is from the different locations, they are having the different propaganda for the fighting election, for understanding the political structure of that particular constituency. So it also depend on and varies upon biological method. Okay, now physiological method, whatever the physiological condition, which also applies in the political science wherever you want to understand. Now, juridical method means jurisdictional method means you must have to provide some judgmental approach. You must have to judge before understanding the political science. Sociological method, ultimately political science starts and ends for the society. I'll not hesitate to provide the definition like democracy. It is of the people, by the people, for the people. Okay, it means you can understand, you can realize, means whatever you are studying in the political science, that is completely devoted for your society and the social welfare. Okay, so most of the time you will experience that whatever action is carried out by the human beings in the different way, in the different approach, it is completely devoted and dedicated for the human welfare. Means we made our constitution, we made some laws, we made our judiciary, executive and legislative, all are made. The reason behind making all these things are just to sort out the problems in the society by adaptation, by adopting some new approach, some new rules, some new laws, some new provisions. Okay, so these are there, and it is the most important methods, okay, which provides the proper status of understanding the political science. Now we will talk about the books which we will prefer this year in your class 12th. The first book, that is Politics in India Since Independence. In this book, we will study the different topics, okay, and these topics we will able to cover, and these topics are: first is challenges in nation building. Okay, so what are challenges faced by the freedom fighters to build the nation? Okay, so the challenges we will study, like a partition, understand, the unification of princely states. So these are some basics in this chapter which we will study. Then second one is era of one party dominance. One party dominance, that was Congress party dominance, okay, which was there by starting of 1947. Okay, then in the third chapter we'll study politics of planned development, as we have studied that different political uh, agendas were there for different development in the country. That was they were very much conscious for the economical development, social development, employment, okay, rural employment, rural uh, challenges, communal challenges. Despite being they were, they had started the politics of the planned development. In the fourth chapter, we will study India's external relations. Means India's external relations means neighboring country and other countries. Okay, so we will able to understand what were the relations and what is the current scenario of the international relation. Okay, and these relations are very much important for the students who is studying political science, because you must have to know the geographical, economical, social, and the political condition of the world. Okay, and if you will able to understand the scenario of the world, then you will able to apply your own scopes and the opportunity in your own country. Okay, so in the fifth chapter we will study about the challenges and restoration of the Congress system. Whatever were the challenges in front of Congress party, and what was the restoration of the Congress party system. Okay, so we'll study in this chapter, and I hope you will enjoy, okay, in this book. It's very nice book, okay, and I always prefer you to read NCERT as many time as you can. Okay, multiple time revision is very much important, and NCERT is very essential, okay, for the students whomsoever is studying humanities, because all the facts and figures are 110% correct and given by the government agencies. Okay, so you will not confused while you will study. And then we are having the sixth chapter, that is the crisis of democratic order. So in that we will study the problems and the crises which were faced in the democratic system, democratic order. Okay, and sorry, chapter 7, rise of popular movements. So in this we will able to understand the popular movements started in the country, okay, like Satyagraha, okay, so Quit India movements, all were the uh, popular movements which rose up in the country. And there were also some reasons behind rise of popular movements, so we will also see there. Okay, then regional aspirations. So what were the regional aspirations? So we will also study there. As we know, regional means whatever is the aspiration of that particular location is called regional aspirations, and it may also based on communities, caste, okay, and religion, their language. So it will vary, okay, region to region. So that's why the regional aspiration. So let's preview once again. So in the first we will study about the challenges of nation building. Then in the second chapter, era of one party dominance. In the third chapter we will study about the politics of planned development. In the fourth chapter, India external relations, you can also say it IR, international relation. Restoration of Congress system will study in the fifth chapter. Crisis of democratic order in the sixth chapter. In the seventh chapter, rise of popular movements, and in the eighth chapter we will study about the regional aspiration. Okay, so all this we will study here in the first book. The book is Politics in India since Independence. Okay, now we will move for the second book, that is Contemporary World Politics. I'm asking one question to all of you. If we are studying Indian political system, is there any necessity to study contemporary world politics? And if it is necessary, then why? And how it will help to the Indian politics or Indian political system? Okay, so write in the comment box. Okay, now in this book we will study the different chapters. Okay, and we are having the ninth chapter, and I'm able to make you understand why this book is also important equally. So in the first chapter, the Cold War era, we will study about the Cold War era, whatever were the condition, okay, whole world war facing, we will study here. Then the end of bipolarity, means the bipolarity was ended with some conditions, we will also study in the chapter 2. In the chapter 3, that is the US hegemony in the world politics. So US hegemony in the world politics will also study in the chapter 3. Here in that we will study about the dominance of US every time in the world politics, why they were very much curious to involve and interfere in the world politics. Okay, so we will study here in the chapter 3. Alternative centers of power, means at that time powers were not stable because it was changing time to time and as per the transfer of the power. Okay, so that's why there was alternative centers of power also developed. So we will study this in the chapter 4. Now about the chapter 5, so contemporary South Asia, we will study about the contemporary South Asia. Okay, so in that about the India, China, okay, so all these things we will study and their political system. Now chapter 6, in that international organizations like WHO, SHARC, NAM, okay, so all these things we will study. UNDP, understand, NHRC, International Human Rights Commission, okay, International Court of Justice. So all these international organizations we will study in the chapter 6. Now in the chapter 7, we will study about the security in the contemporary world. Okay, so whatever was the security in the contemporary world, we will study in the chapter 7. Okay, as I can make you understand, contemporary means whatever is the present or then problem, and whatever is the running issues or the burning issues. So, okay, that is contemporary, understand. So we will study it about in chapter 7. In chapter 8, environment and natural resources, we will understand what is environment, what are the natural resources, how it is important, why it is important. Okay, how can we, you know, save, how can we, conserve the environment and the natural resources. So we will study, okay, and whatever was the natural resources and their condition in the world, we will also study there in the chapter 8. Okay, so now in the chapter we will study about the globalization. As we know, the three term LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. These were the very, very famous term which came into the being for the development or to bring whole world into a single platform. Okay, so we will study in that globalization, that is chapter number 9. Okay, so let's have a preview. We will study cold era, end of bipolarity, US hegemony in world politics, alternative centers of power, contemporary South Asia, international organization, security in the contemporary world, environment, natural resources, and globalization. Okay, so we'll study in this book number 2. Okay, so if you are having any queries in the question, so please write it. Okay, and I hope you have enjoyed the whole orientation class, and after the orientation class we will continue topic wise the chapter 1 of the book India since independence. Okay, so we will study this first book, then we will complete all this thing. Okay, all the okay, so all this chapter will complete, then we will start the contemporary world politics. In that we will study all this thing. Okay, so thank you very much once again for watching the video. I hope uh, you all will study, okay, and start the new journey in the class 12, okay, positively.